Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US stocks for the 3rd of September. And starting with Alteryx, which is an American computer software company based in California. And it works with data science and analytics. Now, it had bad second quarter earnings because of the COVID situation, but overall it's still a well-positioned company within its sector. So we'll just continue to work with it, even though it's not ready to trade right at the moment. We will look at, I'll just keep monitoring this particular correction here, and when it's a buying opportunity, we'll bring it back on. The next stock we're looking at is Alibaba, because as you may know, we're going through the 130 odd stocks in alphabetical order, and it will take 20 days to get through one sequence of them. Now, I know that leaves a lot of space between seeing this particular stock again. However, my strategy so far will be, if you're a Trading Lounge client, then you'll be able to use our trade check service to get a trade check on a particular stock at any time. But secondly, this first month, we're just really looking at what we've got here, getting to know them. And we will be doing two things. One is trades and one is portfolio holds. So the portfolio holds, it won't matter if it's like a month away, 20 days away, so to speak. And trades, but all the portfolio trades and all the shorter term trades that we will be doing soon, they will be monitored on the website. So I will be looking at those on a daily basis and adjusting stops and targets and taking profit and so on. So they will be tightly managed. Okay, so anyway, moving on to Alibaba. So with Alibaba here, we're looking at this nice trend to the upside here. Now, I probably have to adjust this as well, but in terms of its structure to the upside here. And what I mean by that, there'll be an extra wave. But before we get to that wave one there, on the 4-hour chart here, we have been long here at the 250, which is a medium level, and medium levels are halfway between two major levels. And then we have the minor levels in between those guys. Now, this has been a really nice setup here. I didn't quite get it right in the first instance here, but we just kept our stop out of the way, and then we obviously moved back in again and so on. We took a percentage here, and we're going to be taking profit at the 300 area here as well. So from this little low here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we want to be taking profit at the major level, and we'll always do that for trades, definitely, because it will spend time here. And you know, the idea when we get to a level is to get out at the level, and when we get the setup back in, then we move back in. I didn't quite get it perfect here, but we've been in it for a long time. So and it's also a portfolio hold at 250 as well. So what we can expect once we get here is pretty much the arrival, the reaction here in 3 waves, and then we're going to see another move to the upside, and then we're going to see a larger correction before we see any further upside here. But yeah, so yeah, this is the correct count here. So we've still got further upside to go here for this. Something like this here, but we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to take profit here, and we're just going to let it do its thing, and then we'll pick up the thread when we need to pick it up. Now, the other next stock is also from overseas as an ADR, and that's BIDU. And in this case, this market is trending trending down. It's been trending down all this time. I'll just go to the weekly chart here just to remind you that I haven't done a lot of background work on all of these stocks that we're looking at, all these new stocks. So just getting familiar with them in the first month, and then we start to work in further with them. This stock here has, I mean, it's certainly a big platform in China. So, but it's the good thing about this is it's operating in a different trend, and I think that we've actually landed now as an A and a B and a C in the bigger picture here. So I just really need to focus on what we've got here. One of the things that this last move down through here, it doesn't really have a nice 5-wave structure. It's just 3 waves. So it's maybe possible that we've got an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave coming up here. So we'll be looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up here. And so it could have 5 waves up there and then drop from this point. So it'll either drop from that point or have an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, and then push up. And we would look at this as wave 1 over here for this, and wave 2 here. So I need to not so much worry about all of this, but work with this particular structure here. So just going back to the daily chart here, that's, as you can see from the low here, I'm just looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then moving up for 5 here, coming up to the 150 area here. So as I mentioned, I don't know if I've got this here as an A and a B and a C wave over here for wave 4, or we're looking at 5 waves up here for wave 1 and an ABC back for 2. So this is the good thing about just going through these stocks. And what happens once you've got a watch list, it's like having a garden, and you just go through and you weed it and you pick the veggies when they're ready and so on, you know. So and you just get to know them, and you get to know when one thing's ready and one thing's not, because what we'll need to do as the months roll on, we'll need to pull money from one stock, even though, like, if we were long in this stock and it was about here somewhere, we might need to pull that money out and put it into another stock that's just being set up for a longer journey at that point. So we need to move things around, and you can only do that by really understanding your watch list. So the next one we'll be looking at, and all of these stocks, most of them are on the NYSE, but there are a handful that are on the S&P, and this is one such one here, the Caterpillar. We're also doing John Deere as well. I mean, I think Caterpillar is pretty humongous, isn't it? It's in the American Fortune 100 corporations, and it sells machinery all around the world. It's also into insurance as well, worldwide. It's the world's largest construction equipment manufacturer. So, yeah, you probably know more about it than I do. I mean, I'm just in Australia just learning about these things, and all I'm good for is just really Elliott wave and the patterns and trading levels. That's my specialty. So I don't have fundamentals or financial fundamentals on these things. I'm just your Pete the pattern man. So yeah, just I don't know everything. So I only know what I know, and that's the pattern. So I'll just stay within that range. But what I'm looking at here from the COVID correction is, I'm just assuming this is wave 1 here and wave 2 here, nice ABC correction. I don't really worry about spikes if they're from the aftermarket or the provider hasn't cleaned their data and so on, but I can see that we've got an impulse wave here and a corrective wave here. Then this is the next corrective wave up, so the correction overlaps the previous one, so we can't label it wave 3, so it has to be wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And then if you've got a keen eye, you can see that, well, we can just, that's wave 1 and 2 here, but we've also got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, so we've got a little impulse wave here. So we can see that this is not finished yet. Now, yes, we could go in and trade this at the moment and go long, but we're facing this medium level here, that will be at 1 250, a medium level's halfway between two major trading levels, as you know, and we'll be looking for a classic trading levels pattern across there. So we'll be looking for a pattern like that, or like this, where it doesn't come back below the low here. But this is the setup. And if we were trading long, we would exit here, and then we'll look to get back in over here. So it is possible to trade in here and all this sort of thing, but you really need a skill set to be able to do that. So what we're going to do here is we're not really going to do much at all. This is still going to push higher through here, so it's probably not going to even stop here for a bit, but we should see some sort of corrective move here in some way or another where we can look to go in long at this point, you know. So that's what we'll be looking for when that plays out. And the 130 watch list, you know, is that, well, the way that I handle monitoring stocks is really quite simple. So I've got my trading levels charting program here, and what I do is I've got my list, my 130 list, and I will go through this every day. I won't go through it on a web-based platform, but because I've got the data downloaded on my own machine here, I can click through quite quickly. So I know my stocks, so I'll just be looking at them like this here. I only need to spend a couple of seconds on them to understand where they are. I can see that this market here, for example, is at 250, so it's at a medium level. Yes, I know that it will be going higher at this point, but I'll also need to come back and retest it at the 250 at the medium level, so I don't need to do that. This stock here, that's going to push up, and that's a nice move here for this. I think we looked at this the other day, didn't we? Because this is sitting on a major trading level here, just giving you an example. So this is ready to push up, this one here. We looked at this. This is ALGN. But in a nutshell, all I'm doing is I'm just going through my watch list each day, just looking at these stocks and then just working out which ones have got trade setups, which ones we need to manage. So I can go through 130 quite quickly in this regard. I've got a keen eye. I've been doing it for a long time, so I understand what's what. So that's how I do it. Okay. That's how I'll manage them. So yeah, that's Caterpillar. So the next one we're going to be looking at is a company called CELLULAR BIOMEDICINE. So let me just get this one up here. So this is in the pharmaceutical area, and it really focuses on treatments of cancer and degenerative diseases, this particular company. So this is the daily chart, and there's a buying opportunity coming up here. Just having a look at the monthly chart to have a look at the bigger picture here. So this is where we are now. This is all the data I've got on it, and this is how stocks start too. You know, this is this move up through here and then sinking back down. Could be gold when it first went up to 800, or when it first went up to 1900, when it's the second time that went up to 1900. So this particular pattern here is really how new stocks and penny stocks begin. You know, this is what Bitcoin's been doing as well, and they do a series of these patterns. So eventually this will be up in this space up here somewhere. Okay, so it's just a matter of time. But one of the things we can see here is that it has been building quite nicely at this point. I mean, I would call this the accumulation process, and the trend is the distribution process. That's Richard Wyckoff. He was around the time of Gann. He was the first one to get the relationship between the price and the volume actually occurring. So I was looking at this little bump here. If I go back a little bit further here, just to bring in the picture a little bit. So I've got this space here, and I was looking from this low here, and I've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, then an A and a B and a C, and I kind of like that. This one here is a little bit more trickier, and it's possible that this could also be over here as well, but I'm thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, an A and a B into C for wave 2, up for 1, ABC for 2 here, up for 1 here, ABC for 2 here, and then this one here really helps us confirm it, doesn't it? So you could probably buy this here at the moment for a portfolio hold, but otherwise we'll be looking for, I'll move that and we'll just watch it, you know. Let's see it create the first high above the level and then the corrective pattern, and we'll look at taking these highs out when that occurs at that point. Okay, so $20 is a major level, $10 is a major level, $30 is a major level. So all the major levels are just 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8, and then we go back to 1 again. So when we go back to 1 after 8, it's 10. So the power of 10. So 10, 20, 30, 50, 80, and then to 100, power of 10, 100, 200, 300. And that's pretty much the same with the minor levels as well. Medium levels are halfway between major levels, but this is a major level, and we'll be looking for support on this to do a trade. And this is also, when I've got this buy here, that means that it's a portfolio buy as well. Obviously we don't, you know, everybody's got different amounts of money, and we're just looking at our portfolio buys of $1,500 just to make the brokeraging costs of $10 or $20 worthwhile. But you can buy any amount and, you know, dollar cost average through a trend on the portfolio side of things. But anyway, this is this will be a bit of this is a disruptive, innovative stock, and it's really at the beginning of its life cycle. Okay, so the next one we'll be looking at is I should probably do that right. The main word here is CAREDX. So now with this stock here, I haven't done the homework on the backdrop here, but we could pretty much safely assume that this is an impulse wave up here. Now, I don't know if it's wave 2 or 4 just yet, but that's okay. What we're looking for here is a move higher, so we can put this in as a trade on top of this level here if that's breached at this point, and also a portfolio hold as well. So we'll just get this happening there, and I'll just copy this and put this here. We'll just put the stop below the level, so you'll have to work out how many shares you can buy for your 1% risk. So you get your stop, your entry point, your stop, and then work out how many you can buy for your 1% risk. But if you're doing a portfolio buy, we'll just be buying it here, and we won't be moving out of it. If we get a spike down because of some news or something, we won't be shifting out of this here at this stage. So we want a really nice clean break of that particular high here for this. So these trades will eventually go into on the trades page in TradingLounge. We've done most of the work on the app now. We just need to get the data connected up to it, which will just be end of day data as well. So I'll just put that equal to that at that point. And we'll just save that. So anyway, this obviously with the name Care for this company, I think I might just a bit of a Obviously it's got a trademark, just makes it a little bit easier, and that would be its trademark there as well for that. Missing one here. This is in a bit of the same situation as well. We can see that it's had a fantastic move to the upside, and it's impulsive in some way, and I've called it a wave 2 because of the proportion that it's pulled back on, and it's also pulled back in quite a nice little ABC correction. It still may be that this market is this move up here is part of a part of this larger correction to the downside, but we'll just give it a little bit more of a time. We won't buy it just yet, and I couldn't quite figure out this little pattern in here for this as well. So what we'll do is we'll just allow it to move up. You could trade it long here if you wanted to and put the stop under the $13, which is a major level. And but I just want to wait for one more here. We've got enough on our plate anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But the other point here too is that the next level is this 15 here. So the 15 is a medium level. It's really halfway between two major levels in this case, but this case will be $10 and $20. Just a little educational thing here. And then we've got a minor level in here that's important. And we've also got between $13 and, which is a major level in this case, so 13, because we've got, it's a little bit tricky, but 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and then we go 13, 21, 34. But we know when we get to 21, we may as well use 20, because this is where the psychological part of it comes in. Because, you know, when this market's heading up towards $20, people are not thinking of $21 or $19 when they're placing their orders, and they're thinking, they don't think like that. Nor not everybody anyway. So there is, so halfway between 13 and the 20 here is another medium level here, and we don't talk about it much in terms of indices and all the rest of it, but in stocks we need it. So it's 1650 here. Now I know that it's not a glamorous sort of looking number, but it's actually more important than 16 and 17. Now 16 and 17 will have tops and bottoms on them in terms of where the trend is, but this will be the balance line here. This will be the balance of the correction. Here you see it starting to play out here a bit. You can see it. So yeah, anyway, this little bit education. So I'm just going to wait for this to play out a little bit more. I know it's going to go higher, because it's going to go higher than this high here, because this is a corrective move here and this is an impulse move here. You can do it as a trade if you want to. I'll just put that in here, just get a nice clear top on that, and then take the money off the table at the 15 here. And that's it for today. I think we've covered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stocks. So we're on track. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.